Hey, how doing? This is Preacher Man R&B, and this is another episode of Retro TV 91. This time I'm doing another movie reviews, and this time I'm reviewing Cold Night Today. It's another Bruce Willis movie, even though Bruce Willis only has a short part in this movie, he's still in it. And what it's about is Martin Shaw, and this is Bruce Willis' character, and he's a agent of the CIA, and his family's having this get-together on his boat. And his son Will, who's played by Henry Cavill, goes in to get supplies, and when he comes back, the boat's gone. And what happens is Martin and the rest of the family gets kidnapped, but we find out that Martin didn't get kidnapped. And the reason the rest of the family got kidnapped is because Martin was working with his partner in the CIA, but he didn't know she was a bad member of the CIA. And the Israeli agency is the one that kidnapped his family, trying to get this briefcase that he stole from them for this woman. And this is what starts off the whole movie. And we find out that this woman has one of her men to kill him in later on in the movie. And then Will has to go and try to figure all this out. And on his journey, he meets up with his half-sister that he first meets in this movie. And he finds out that his father had a daughter from another woman, and she helps him throughout his journey in this movie. And this whole movie, Will's father's ex-partner is trying to kill Will and trying to be able to sell this briefcase. And the reason she's trying to kill Will is because he's a witness, and she's trying to kill Will and the rest of his family. That way there wouldn't be no witnesses to the crime that she committed. And Will's trying to get this briefcase back, because if he gets the briefcase back, the Israeli agency will let his family go. And then he meets up with the Israelis, and he finds out that they're not terrorists, they're a part of this agency. And they tell him that they'll keep holding his family, because that's the only thing that's keeping them alive, because if they let his family go, his father's ex-partner will find him and kill him. Well, Will gets this plan with the Israelis to draw her out, and he goes and meets with his sister again, and they draw his father's ex-partner out, and she comes after him, and he captures one of her men and finds out where the cell's going to be at for this briefcase. And then they go to the cell, and the Israelis are there too, and the woman gets away with the briefcase. Well, Will and his sister is chasing this woman down throughout the streets of Spain, and they finally stop her, and there's this big crash scene at the end of this movie, and she's about to kill Will and his sister. Then the Israelis shoot her and kill her and get the briefcase back. Well, after this, Will goes to the agency, and they're allowing him to leave the country now, and he asked them what's in the briefcase, and they said there was only one way they could tell him that. And then he walks off into the hospital where his half-sister is, and his family meets his half-sister. And that's all that really happened on this movie. If y'all ever watched The Cold Night of Day, The Cold Light of Day, what did y'all like about this movie? As always, it's Preacher Man R&B signing out. Guys, GG's awesome. This has been another episode of Retro TV 91. See y'all next time.